What's up, BP Squad, and welcome back to another stretching series. Today, guys, I want to take you through another hip training routine. We're going to work on improving flexibility and strength. Now, before we start, if you are really tight, make sure you have a yoga block or a book. That way you guys can help modify the positions we're going to be in. Let's go ahead and get started. The first exercise we're going to jump into is going to be a horse stance. We're going to use this as a warm-up, like I always do in my stretching videos, right? So legs are parallel, you're squeezing your glutes, pushing your knees out. Keep your chest nice and big, guys. Drive your heels into the ground. Just hold this position. We have less than 20 seconds. Today we're gonna loosen up those hips, I promise you. Build strength, you guys are gonna feel so much better. And 3, 2, 1, and stop. Great job, guys. Now we have kneeling hip dips. So we're in the kneeling position, okay? And what we're gonna do, guys, we're simply gonna just rise up, squeezing our glutes, coming back down. So again, you rise up, squeeze, come back down. You're gonna feel tension in your quads as well, so keep that in mind. As you do this, you don't wanna go like this. I'll show you from this angle, like this. Okay, think about having your torso lean back, squeeze your glutes, and come up. Again, rise up. We got less than 15 seconds. Great job, guys. Seconds, last one. Great work, guys. Now we have a deep squat. We're gonna work on internal rotation. So, in this position right here, guys, and what we're gonna do, just turn that knee in. Now, if you're like, hey, this is too challenging, go ahead and sit back on your hands and do that same thing. Go as deep as you can. And again, you can use a yoga block. So pretend I have a yoga block right here. I can go right here and then repeat, okay? The goal is just to drive your knees towards the ground. We got 10 seconds, guys. Great work, guys. Now we have Cossack squats. So lean to one side, shift, stand nice and low. Try to keep your chest big, guys. Squeeze your glutes. I really love that you work on your adductors with this exercise. Great job, guys. Now we have 90-90. All right, guys, so we're in a 90-90 position, okay? With this position, right? This is at 90 degrees, this is at 90 degrees, okay? What we're gonna do, and it's optional to use your hands. If you don't use your hands, all you're doing is going from each position, and you're thinking about externally rotating this right hip for me, my knee down. This is internal rotation, okay? So I'm driving my knee inward like this, and you wanna aim to keep your torso square. Now I like to use my hands, even though it kind of modifies it a little bit, but I feel like I get a bigger stretch. So I'm driving my knee out, my left knee out, or I should say my left hip out and my right hip in, okay? Great work, guys. So now I'm gonna stay in this position, right? And what we're gonna do lift that side foot, or should I say that foot? Not so much your side foot, right? So my left foot is gonna rise up. I'm driving my knee in, so I'm internally rotating my left hip. The more I lean forward, the more drive I get upward with that foot, okay? If I lean back a little bit, now it's gonna make me strain just a bit more, and that's okay. Stress is good to a degree. We just wanna focus on really improving that range of motion for internal rotation. Great work, guys. Almost there. Great work. We're gonna stay in this position, but we're gonna actually work on pigeon. So you can either stay like in a modified pigeon and just come forward like this, that's perfectly fine. Or for the extra sauce, drive that leg back, okay? So I'm just simply holding this position. Now I can modify it too by even having, I forgot to mention, that yoga block right here underneath my right hip if you're in this position like me. And then I can also bring my foot in a little bit just to reduce the amount of stress that's being placed on my glutes and my hips, okay? But if you're like this flexible, go ahead and lay down. Try to keep your torso nice and square, your hips. Almost there, guys. Great work. So now we're making that switch. And again, when you're in that 90-90 position, okay, I can have the yoga block on my left leg. So we're gonna drive that knee up, or should I say that foot up. Now for me, my right leg is easier to bring up just because of martial arts training. I kick a lot with my right, so it's a little bit stronger. And you can just pause at the top for like 3 seconds. So like 1, 2, 3, bring it back down. 1, 2, 3. Keep going, guys. All right. Going back into that pigeon pose. So I'm gonna immediately drive my right leg back. Whew. I can already feel that tension in my left leg. Man, all right. So I'm really, guys, trying to increase the range of motion a bit, so I'm gonna lean forward. Again, I'm trying to keep my torso and my hips nice and square, okay? And sometimes I even place my hand on my left knee and drive it into the ground to really open up my hips a little bit more. Woo, feeling this. Relax, guys. Great work. We have a butterfly pose. So we're gonna be opening up those hips more. So think about keeping your torso upright, nice and straight. Drive your knees into the ground. So this right here is external rotation because we're driving our hips, we're externally rotating our hips to the ground, and I always think about driving my knees into the ground. So your hips are opening up like this, sort of like a flower. Control your breathing. Almost there. Great work, guys. Now, we're gonna get into the half lotus pose. Let me explain a couple things. I'm gonna have my left leg on the ground. My right leg is gonna go on top of my left leg, okay? Now, a couple things. My right foot is on my left knee. That makes this exercise more challenging. The more I bring my right foot away from my left knee, the lower the intensity, okay? So be careful with your knees with the half lotus, guys, because it can stretch out your knees. So start off maybe like right foot on the shin, and as you get more flexible and stronger, you're gonna drive that right foot, for me, on the left knee more. And you know, you play with it, you lean forward, you get more range. You're gonna really feel that stretch along your right glutes. Relax, relax. We're making that switch, guys. So again, play with the positioning. My right leg is on the ground. My left foot is on top of my right knee. And you want to make sure you really relax. What helps a lot too is even placing a weight, like a 10 to 15 pound weight on the leg that you're stretching. And sometimes even if you don't have access to a weight, you can drive with your hands. Make sure to really breathe. Nice stretch right here. Great work, guys. Woo, man, I feel really flexible and loose. So again, with this particular routine, guys, as I said, we focus on building strength and flexibility. It's like a win-win situation. You know, you're getting a big bang for your buck with building strength, and you're also loosening up those muscles. So this is a great routine to really start off your morning, or if you're like, hey, I'm really tight during the day, later on that night, you can utilize this routine. So my son insisted he wanted to end the video with me. Go ahead and say peace and love.
Shay, boo, baby.
I guess that's our cue, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. Peace and love, and
Shay.
Boom. We out, baby.